在 Baselworld 呢，大家也许最关注的一个品牌，当属 Patek Philippe 百达翡丽。那么，作为一个瑞士的品牌，它带给全世界钟表爱好者的不仅仅是它的外观，而是它的最核心的一部分，就是它的机芯儿。那么，作为最高质量、最高品质的这个机芯儿，Patek Philippe可以说是傲视群雄。那么今天呢，莹莹非常荣幸的与它的北美总裁 Larry 坐在一起，跟大家分享一下2013年百达翡丽的最新作品。Hi Larry, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, can you give us a little bit brief about this 2013 Baselworld?
Yes, we have a number of new models, but overall the message is that we've got attention to detail. So we have two new models in the ladies and a number of men's pieces to show you here. The first piece, if you'd like to go right in, which is a woman's rose gold, very classic Calatrava, ultra thin, but with a wonderful automatic movement in the back, which is something that ladies around the world have been asking us for, and it seems to be much more important nowadays.
And I do find that the simple look actually coming back.
I think the traditional classic looks are always in vogue, but in our particular line, it's about something that can be worn over generations and never goes in and out of style. So it's perfect for us.
It is beautiful. Every time when I'm looking at the Patek Philippe's, the movements, when you see through from the open back, you feel breathtaking. It's just the best of the best.
Well, every watch we make is at least 1 year to produce. And much of that time is spent hand finishing every single part within the watch.
Exactly.
So it becomes a labor of love for our watchmakers, and when we finally do release them, we're very proud of the time and energy and the passion that these watchmakers have.
I know that the Patek Philippe, if you want, you can produce much more quantities, but you never do that.
Well, there are ways to produce more quantity. A lot of them have to do with cutting corners. And I think Mr. Stern has always said that he'd rather make fewer watches and maintain the standards.
So, looking at this piece, a really first thing grabs me was the delicate diamond around the bezel.
Yes, Patek usually uses diamonds as an accent. It's not meant to be a jewelry piece, it's a watch first. So any of the diamonds, which are always top Wesselton, which is the highest quality, are always very well placed and just an appropriate amount.
It is chronograph for ladies.
It's actually a travel time. It looks like a chronograph. It
it makes me feel like chronograph.
Yes,
Why?
it does have
It's
a look.
still so thin, but it's not.
It's chronograph buttons, so it really looks like a very complex piece.
Yeah.
In fact, this is a travel time, so effectively when you change time zones, there are 3 hands on there, and one stays at your home time. And as you move through time zones, you either go forward or backward, so that you know what the new time is.
It gave you the second time zone. And we also see, how can we forget about the gentleman?
Yes, don't forget about the gentleman. So we have a number of models for the gentleman. This particular style, again, it's a nod to the very classic design. The DNA of this particular watch is inherent to Patek Philippe. It's basically portion of the classic 3796 or the original 96 designed in 1932. So stick marker is very simplistic but elegant and timeless. There is a very rich cream-colored dial, which effectively is 12 layers of lacquer to produce, so it has a deep, rich feel. What's really fun about this particular watch is that most people don't notice it, but they've spent 2 years of R&D trying to find a way to hide the back hinge so that they can have a small dust cover. And I think it's just, again, a nice detail that most people will never notice because it's still a very thin watch. But they wanted to make sure that it has just enough special. You can do a light engraving on the inside of the back to commemorate a special time in your life.
I think our audience must feel really curious about the price points from this collection, roughly.
Well, in the men's collection, the yellow gold is $35,400, and in the white and rose, $37,300.
That's in
US dollars.
US dollars.
The travel time in ladies is $44,400, and the ladies' automatic classic is approximately $29,300.
So for Patek Philippe, really we're talking about the best craftsmanship, best movement, almost the best of everything that from what we know. And really for 2013 and 14, what's our goal?
Well, our goal is obviously to create pieces that are going to be utilized not only by our traditional clientele, but also to develop something that might be interesting for the younger audience, a little bit younger. Because I think it's important for not just Patek Philippe, but all watch brands to think about that next generation coming in and learning about timepieces.
Thank you so much, Larry. Thank you for today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.